Now let's start your two halves here. We're just gonna line these up. I like to start the point here, the point here, and now that I see they're lined up, I want to make sure these are lined up, which they are. Yep. Sorry, I should. And here, which I just like to adjust here, make sure it's still lying flat. Better, right? So now you don't want to move that. Make sure it didn't shift here, which it didn't, and it hits. I don't know if you can see. It hits. They're lining up nicely, right? So now that they're lined up nicely, you're gonna take your ruler, which I do. Try not to move it. Always check in. That's what I'm doing. Double, triple, whatever. However many times you feel comfortable checking. And I gotta remember to adjust this one. I'm gonna go about your seam allowance, make sure they line up. Now I'm just gonna mark it. This is chalk. It like goes right up. I'm not left-handed, so it goes, and you can hear it clicking. Goes right up against my ruler because it's like a little wheel in there, and it's letting the chalk come out. So I think the chalk is called Choco. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it comes in different colors. You can get them from Cold Stars. I think they're like about 13, between like 13, 14, maybe $15, depending where you get it from. Actually, did I make this go up? I did. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this down. Make sure. Hit. Yep. Without. That sounds fine. You want to adjust it without actually moving it. There. So it's my seam allowance here. However, you can tell right here. This one is just a little bit off. It'll still line up. It is a little thicker because that's just how it's turning out, but it'll turn out fine. As long as you have like a good seam allowance that's not too much or too little, it's fine. And what I do here, this is when I pin. And I'm gonna take it to my sewing machine. So pin to keep it in place, especially here. And when I sew, I'm gonna just do a few stitches here just to keep this in place, your point. And once I'm done that, I'll show you what I mean, because once you start here, you go down, it can even shift even just a little, and it'll make your fabric go like this way. And like, it's not like important to like people don't notice that, but you know, you do. And when you get like a nice point lining up, the seams line up, you as like the person making it notice it, and it's just always like a nice little win, right? So that's a tip there. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this, making sure those tips line up, and that's it. Anyways, always remember, stop right here. So you're gonna stop here. Let's say that's where my seam allowance is. I don't know if it's on camera, I sure hope it is, but I'm just gonna mark where I want to stop, right? You want to leave them open at both ends. I almost forgot to explain that. So this is blue, but it is just chalk. It'll wash out. It'll even fade once you blow on it the first time, but oops. You take your sewing machine, and like I said, you're going to just a couple stitches just to hold it in place. Right. So I know the other ones line up, just sometimes it can go. And I don't know how close that is, but you can see there my seam, this seam, and this seam lining up, right? Now I'm going to start from the beginning. Always remember to back stitch at the beginning, at the end. Follow your line. Follow your line. This needs to be straight because you're going to notice if it's not straight. You know, just gonna be one straight line, so just trust your straight line. Go slow if you have to. Take your pins out. And then you're just going to open it up. I finger press it open. At this point, you know, can you iron? I would. You know, you kind of could. Oh, nuts. I don't like when it folds over so well. I'm not talking about, like, I'm just talking about my seams. Sometimes, like, my seams fold over, even though I like them open up like this. That's okay. That's what I mean by finger pressing. I like them open up because then it lays flatter here and it's not as much of a bulk. This is why I do it this way. And this is a queen size star. I get it asked a lot. I started with 3-inch strips. So once my seam allowance, it's just under probably 2.5. The diamond's finished. And as you can see, right. And I'll go ahead and turn it over. And there it is.